Tomorrow marks 365 days since COVID-19 was first confirmed here in Ontario. No one could have imagined the toll it has taken on the province, the country, or the entire world. From health to business, education, and entertainment, the virus has affected every part of daily life. Manucdoc takes a look back at the stories over the last year.
Before we were told to stay home,
Ontario was declaring a state of emergency.
Before the hope,
the majority of Canadians vaccinated by next September.
Before the color-coded control zones and reopening stages, the dots and arrows telling people where they can and can't walk, the endless lines outside grocery stores and test centers, before we were told this could save lives. COVID-19 arrived in Ontario.
We do know is he took a flight from Wuhan to Guangzhou.
That was January 25th, 2020.
Good evening, our top story.
Fast forward to March 11th when the virus came to Hamilton and Halton.
It's a doctor who works at Juravinci Cancer Center and lives in Burlington.
In the days that followed, it became clear that COVID-19 was reshaping everyday life.
Thanks to big developments on the COVID virus outbreak, the U.S. has suspended travel to and from Europe, and the NBA has canceled its season for now.
I ain't playing.
Then one by one, every sports league followed.
And then immediately you started to hear about the NHL. The NCAA basketball tournament was happening.
Ben Wagner is the voice of the Jays. He was with the team at their spring training facility in Dunedin when Major League Baseball halted operations.
It was a very awkward time to just be around not only baseball players, to be at the ballpark, but just be around other people because we had no idea how this virus was being transmitted and how sensitive things were.
We were just learning who it was affecting and how.
My thing was always like saying stuff like, oh, like when I get better, I'm going to do this, like whatever. But now like I've kind of changed that to like, if I get better.
CHCH News interviewed 27-year-old Doriana Homersky from Waterdown last May, 2 months after testing positive on March 28th. Her case is resolved, but the symptoms still exist 10 months later.
I just get a wall of exhaustion and just like need to stop and lay down, and then I'm out for like the rest of the day.
She's currently part of a research study looking at long-term effects of COVID-19. A more clear result of the virus is the reckoning it's had on retirement and long-term care homes.
My mother was number 16 to die from Roslyn, 44 in the city of Hamilton.
Brian Melnick lost his 87-year-old mother, Joan Wallace, to one of the worst outbreaks in Hamilton. The Roslyn was fully evacuated and had its operating license revoked. Melnick had to watch his mother die from behind a glass wall, gasping for air.
They tell you that they do not die alone in the hospital, but a doctor or a nurse is not family.
He says his mother's death meant little because not enough was done to protect seniors who are still dying rapidly from the virus today.
Like right when this whole thing started, they knew that we were going to have a second wave, and it could be worse.
Premier Ford confirmed that on September 28th.
It'll be worse than the first wave we faced earlier this year.
But in the summer months in between waves, the province slowly opened. Beaches and patios filled up. Looking back, Dr. Sane Chagla, an infectious disease physician, thought it was brave and powerful.
With not having a break in the summer, not being able to see family and friends in the summer and sit on a patio or go to a restaurant in the summer, we would have been, a very miserable society.
While Chagla recognizes what he sees as successes, he believes the assault on science has been an unfortunate target.
Corona's fake.
Corona's fake.
Yeah, we don't know him.
So everyone dying, that's just fake.
Yeah, fake news.
We try to convey good evidence, good thought, and really trying our best to make sure the population is engaged. Yeah, it's tough because every day is more and more antagonism. Every day is more polarization of particular issues. Whether
issues like reopening and closing schools, personal protective equipment, and vaccinations, which ICU Dr. Bram Roshwork says is the greatest achievement of the last 12 months.
To go from 12 months from an unknown disease to multiple effective vaccines that we're able to mass produce, that's a credit to us as humanity and our research potential. So
the ingenuity has been endless, from new ways to do business and stay connected. But the people we caught up with today all learned the same thing over the last year.
What have you learned to be more grateful for now?
It's not the material things, let me tell you. It's about relationships. It's about experiences. It's about having good memories.
The benefit has been where my wife and I, we've proven that we operate better together.
All this time I've spent with my family, because I haven't been able to really go anywhere, is like the time that like I'll forever be grateful for.
Now, that's obviously just a fraction of the story. We know there's been severe impact in mental health, personal finances, and small businesses. But what I gathered from all the people I spoke to for this story was the hope is still there. They believe we'll get through this and return to the normal we once lived.